Hello guys, hey lovelies, hey beautiful, hey handsome. How are you all doing? You guys are so welcome to my channel today. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to make this beautiful mermaid skirt. Okay, so this is a mermaid skirt. Okay, yes, so beautiful. So guys, I'll be showing you guys how to make this. Actually, I have a pattern tutorial on this. You can check that out in the descriptive box. Okay, so without further much ado, let's just go straight to this. So I'm going to begin by cutting this. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. This is the front. I have folded into two, and I'm bringing out the shape. So after that, I have this section where I need to replace with a different fabric. Okay, so I'm just removing that section from it, and I'm going to cut, leaving half inch that I'm going to use and join into the other fabric. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just trimming off that side, leaving half an inch of my seam for my seam allowance, sorry. So next I'm going to use the other pattern that I sectioned out to cut my other piece. Okay, so like you're seeing, I just added half an inch to the front part. That is where you're going to be joining our fabric to. So I just opened my front panel flat, and I'm going to attach the other section I just cut out to that side. Okay, so I'm going to pin this down. Just make sure you match this and you follow your shape. Okay, so pin it or sew it slowly and follow that shape. Okay, because you don't want it like very bulky around the side. So after that, just sew that together, and now I'm at the back panel. Okay, so I have extended my fabric because it's not enough, so I've joined some fabric to the side and also to my back. Okay, for my um back tail. Okay, we don't really have a tail, but we have like a kind of an extension at the back. Okay, so I'm using a different fabric for that. Okay, so actually in the tutorial i have um I have drafted it with a tail, so you can choose to use the tail or you can choose to ignore the tail. So I have also joined like I told you. So I'm going to go ahead, and then from the center back, I'm going to join my extensions to it. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to pin my extensions from the center back, and right after pinning I'm going to go ahead and sew this half an inch. Okay, before I trim out. Okay, so I'm going to just sew this half an inch all the way through, and I'll do the same thing for the other side of the back. Okay, so guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please click on the subscription button. Okay, so lining time, I've cut my lining for all my skirt panels. Okay, after joining, I've cut off my lining. As you can see, I've cut off my front lining and my back lining. So the next thing I'm going to do is, after joining, after like ironing the front with the lining, I'm going to trim the center. Okay, the waistline by half an inch like I'm doing, and I'm going to also attach crinoline to the bottom of the skirt. Okay, I'm going to attach this separately. I'm going to attach this on the front, and I'm going to do the same thing for the back as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and then show you guys how I'm going to be attaching this crinoline. So right here on my machine, I'll just grab my crinoline like that. My lining is on right side. My uh lining is on right side, facing the right side of the main fabric, and the crinoline is on top. So this is how I'm going to like attach my crinoline, okay? So right sides of the lining facing the right side of my main fabric, okay? And yes, followed by my crinoline on top. So make sure you don't pull the crinoline, don't push it, just let it be. Okay, just loosen up, don't hold it too hard, and then sew slowly. Okay, attach this to the bottom, like very nice and neat, because this is going to give us that effect we want at the bottom part. So right after I am done, I am just going to sew, okay, half an inch, okay, at the edge of my crinoline against my main fabric. Just keep watching what I'm doing. So right now I am about to sew it down on my main fabric. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just pushing it against the allowance. Okay, which is what you should do. The only pushing you need to do is against your sewing allowance at the hem area. Okay, so I'm just making sure everything is in place before I sew, because this has a lining and you don't want it coming out looking like funny. Okay, so I'm just arranging everything well before I go ahead and then like so. Okay, so once this is done, just go ahead, do the same thing for the back panel. Okay, and now I'm going to close the waist area. Okay, so I'm going to attach it after darting. Of course, I've already darted. So I'm going to close this right sides facing each other at the waistline. Okay, just like you're seeing. So I have attached this right sides facing each other. Of course, I have already placed my dart on it. I didn't film because many of us know how to add that to our skirt. Okay, so after that, I'm just going to go ahead and top stitch the allowance on my lining. Okay, so after this, go ahead and do the same thing to the back as well. And then now it's now time to tackle our back. So I am going to be explaining some few points here. I hope that you guys stay tuned so that you get to know what will happen at the back here. Because of the effect I want at the back, I'll be doing some explanations. So this is my hip line and that is my knee line, like so. So remember I was doing the drafting, I marked the horizontal measurement and also the vertical measurement. The vertical measurement, I had my upper knee line and my lower knee line. So we are going to be using this in place right now, the upper knee and the lower knee. Okay, that's the upper knee here, and on that upper knee we are going to stitch from our zip line all the way to our upper knee length. Okay, and then from there we are going to taper it back to our back. Okay, to our like how do I say, to the seam line at the bottom part, okay, of the back. So we are going to sew in 1 inch, and then after that we are going to attach our zip to it. Okay, so guys, I finished sewing this and I've gone ahead to press my seam. So guys, if you watch my video, my drafting closely, we trimmed half an inch from the zip area and then we added it back to the side. Okay, that helps very well with taking out zipper bulges at the back area. So I am going to attach my zip, and then after that we'll go ahead and assemble the sketch together. Now this is my favorite part. This is where the shape of the skirt actually comes out. So stay tuned as I assemble this. And now that I am done with assembling, we are going to go ahead and take our vertical measurement fresh again. Okay, so the reason I'm going to take my vertical measurement fresh again is because I want to give this skirt a shape, and that without the markings I wouldn't be able to know where each point is. Okay, so that's why I'm marking this afresh again. Okay, so this is my upper knee and my hip length. Okay, so I have my crease line. Of course you can't see, but I can. So that's my crease line right here, and I'm going to use that to mark on both sides. Like I'm going to be dividing my measurements and the marking right on that crease line on both sides, dividing my measurement into two. Okay, so I'm just going ahead to marking my waistline and waist measurement, and I'm doing the same thing for my hip. So of course you want to pull, okay, you want to stretch so that the fabric that has crumpled, okay, will straighten out so you can take a proper measurement. That's what I do when I'm taking measurement for like places where the fabric is like it's not straight. Okay, remember this excess I added at the back here. Okay, doing the drafting. If you've not watched that, go and watch it. I'm going to go ahead and taper in more around the upper knee area because I have excess at the back. So instead of the original 2-inch allowance, okay, I'm going to do 2.5 inches on both side. Okay, so the whole of this skirt has 2 inches allowance all the way through to the down. Okay, but because of the extra, like how do I call it, extra free, I gave it some extra uh freeness at the back. Okay, I tapered it at the back so that my client can really get a very nice shaped skirt but still move freely inside because of the spacing or the inches or the amount of allowance I gave at the back. So you understand better if you watch my drafting video. Okay, so you understand that better doing that drafting video. So I'm just going ahead to connect all my points to make sense. Okay, so right now I have connected from my waist to my hip to my upper knee. Now this is where all the points lies. Okay, so I'm marking 3 inches. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, and from there, okay, I'm just going to mark 1 inch. Okay, and I'm going to connect in a curvy manner, okay, to meet that point. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so I'm curving. You see how I'm curving that? Yes, normally the allowance we have at the bottom is 2 inches, but you see what I'm doing, so my client can get that curve effect you see in the video. Okay, so yes, this is what brings out like the shape and makes it look more nicer and more like, how do I say it, beautiful. Yes, that's the word, beautiful. So in fashion you need to twist and turn to get what you want. Okay, so instead of taking 2 inches allowance all down, you see at the knee area I came in by 2.5 because I gave some extra allowance at the back, extra freeness at the back. And then when it got to the lower knee area, I did 1 inches instead of like our normal 2 inches sewing allowance. So this is it. I'm just going to sew on my machine, and once I'm done, see guys, look at how this is looking. I've not even ironed it yet, and it looks so beautiful. Okay, look at the back, look at how it's flowing at the back. It's so beautiful. Okay, so guys, give me a thumbs up, like this video, share it to your friends, subscribe to my channel. Okay, make sure you turn on the bell notification so that you get notified anytime I upload a new video. So let's go ahead and watch how beautiful my clients looked on this day. I have a video on the corset. Everything was filmed from A to Z. So make sure you check that also in the link below. I'm going to see you next week. Bye bye.